All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining in. I wanted to put up a quick post here and address from my own mouth what's going on both with the Uvalde shooting and the aftermath of the Uvalde shooting because things are getting pretty nasty. And what I really want to do is make very clear that Open Carry Texas is still involved in this fight and will continue to be involved in this fight. We haven't gone anywhere. I know we've been on sort of a long hiatus while I've been away at law school, but it's over now, and I'm back, and we are back, and now more than ever, Open Carry Texas is needed to defend liberty here in the Lone Star State. So I want to start by giving a quick statement on behalf of Open Carry Texas and myself, of course, about the Uvalde shooting, and that is one of extreme anger, frustration, and sympathy for what happened in Uvalde, Texas, with this shooting, as well as what happened in New York with their shooting, and anytime there's a shooting. Unfortunately, it's the emotional ones that get all of the fanfare, but the bottom line is that it doesn't matter what side of the gun debate you're on, whether you are on the side of the Second Amendment or you're on the side of communism, that either way, we both are trying to solve the same problem, which is protecting our kids. No child should have to worry about being slaughtered in a school, on the streets, or in their own home. It doesn't matter where that is. The left is trying to make this a political issue, and we're going to fight back against that. But Open Carry Texas does not condone in any way people using firearms in an offensive way to hurt, harm, or threaten others. Period. That's all there is to it. We believe in the right to keep and bear arms, and we believe in that right responsibly, so long as you don't use that right to violate the rights of someone else. Now, I wanted to make that clear first and foremost, because the left and the gun control commies want you to think that those of us on this side of the issue, that believes in the right to keep and bear arms, unfettered, unmolested, and uninfringed, that we want and welcome these kinds of shootings, which is just absurd on its face and absolutely stupid. As a matter of fact, the irony here is that we both want the exact same thing. We want to reduce and or eliminate these kinds of shootings. But unlike the left, unlike the Democrat Party, unlike those who believe in the Communist Manifesto of gun control, we don't believe that the way to protect people is by disarming people. Unfortunately, there are a lot of politicians on both sides of the aisle that do. And so I want to address exactly what it is we plan to do as Open Carry Texas. And I'm going to preface it with this. Open Carry Texas will not support and will oppose every single effort, no matter how big, no matter how small, to undermine, undercut, infringe, and or in any way restrict our right to keep and bear arms, any arms of our choosing, for peaceful purposes. We won't accept red flag laws. We won't accept universal background checks. We won't accept any type of gun ban. We won't accept any kind of additional licensing requirement. We won't accept any kind of local control for gun issues. In other words, getting rid of the state preemption. We will not support a single gun control effort. Now, but CJ, can't we just meet in the middle? No. You know why? We're past the middle. We've been past the middle for far too long. We're already on the far left as it comes to gun control. Okay? The middle is going back towards the Constitution. That's where the middle is. The middle is on the side of the Constitution. It's not on the side of gun control. We are way over the line when it comes to... So anybody that wants to meet in the middle, you come to us. Okay? We're not coming to you. We will not capitulate and give in to anything. We will fight tooth and nail to protect what we have. And I'll tell you why. Because what happened in Uvalde was not the fault of gun laws. It was not the fault of gun control, or excuse me, of a lack of gun control. And it was not the fault of guns. It was the fault of the shooter himself. Now, if you want to play the political game, okay, if you want to play the political game, the left is responsible for every aspect of what happened in Uvalde. If you want to play that game, if you want to play the blame game, but it is the position of Open Carry Texas that Beto's not responsible, Abbott's not responsible, Biden's not responsible, Trump's not responsible. The only person responsible for what happened in Uvalde, Texas, was the shooter himself. Thankfully, the dead guy. Unfortunately, he had to take 21 people with him. That is the only individual that is responsible for what happened in Uvalde. And that's why we're not going to capitulate on anything. There were a lot of failures in what happened in Uvalde. There was a failure of law enforcement who had been given notice that this guy was some kind of a threat. There's a failure of the school who left a door propped open. There's a failure of the school security for not even being on the campus. Now, I understand they have 8 campuses and only 6 police officers. Sorry, that's a failure. Why weren't you there? If the purpose of school security is to create security and to secure the school, well, you failed. The second failure is of the Democrats' failure to allow for schools and their staff, I guess I'd say mostly their staff, to arm themselves in self-defense. Yes, we have the Guardian programs and we have the other program that allows school districts to decide what they're going to do with respect to allowing teachers and faculty and staff to carry firearms into a school. However, the vast overwhelming majority, I think only 10 to 13% of Texas schools are allowing their students, or I'm sorry, their teachers and faculty to carry firearms in accordance with Texas law. About 87 to 90% of Texas school districts, including Uvalde, do not allow teachers who are well-trained and or licensed to carry a firearm in self-defense. Can you imagine if that guy had busted into that door and that teacher in there who had heard the shots already, because they'd already heard the shots, the guy was firing at the school. As soon as he busted open that door, got a couple to the head, to the chest, probably wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking about 19 dead people. Meanwhile, you've got a woman in West Virginia who stopped a mass shooting of a guy that had an AR-15 and was opening up into I think it was a graduation party or something like that, and took out the shooter. Why? Because she had a gun. And there's a lot of truth to you only stop a bad guy with a gun if you have a good guy or gal, in this case, with a gun. So what we have now is a bunch of politicians. I want to share some of these with you, some of these stories that I've seen, first and foremost, and I'm going to work my way down here from the federal level. I want to share this story with you that our trader senator, oh, shoot, what'd I do here? Sorry about that. Let me get this back in there. Our trader senator here, John Cornyn, is trying to sell out gun owners. And we are going to stand up. I'm making this promise right now. John Cornyn, if you sell out gun owners and agree to a single issue that you're about to see here, Open Carry Texas will do everything possible and mobilize every member and every dollar that we have to see that this is your last term as a Texas senator. Listen to this crap.
At a press conference yesterday, Texas Senator and Republican John Cornyn was asked to lead bipartisan talks on gun reform, saying we need to do a lot more. So today, he and a group of senators will meet on Zoom because the Senate is not in session this week. They're going to meet on Zoom and they're going to negotiate and talk about the possible framework for gun safety legislation. Now,
there is no negotiating, John Cornyn. There is nothing to negotiate at all. The only thing, if anything, that we need to negotiate is getting rid of gun-free school zones. Okay, that should be the only thing that you, John Cornyn, should be negotiating with the left. You should be negotiating gun-free school zones and getting rid of gun-free school zones and allowing people to defend themselves. That's it. That's the only negotiation that Open Carry Texas will accept.
He said he wants to do more to keep guns away from criminals and the mentally ill. On that conversation today, on that Zoom call, here table, those red flag warnings,
Nope.
mental health resources,
Yep.
more funding for school security, and expanding background checks.
Now, we'll accept that. Obviously, there are needs for mental health resources, and this is also where Governor Abbott has failed. Governor Abbott has reduced funding for mental health resources. Our schools can't handle mental health resources. But you know what? We wouldn't have as many mental health problems if we didn't have an education system that was teaching kids that the entire world is expected to bend at your will. Oh, you think you're a woman? Well, okay, everyone else is wrong, that they don't buy the fact that you're a woman. Instead of teaching kids how to deal with adversity and how to deal with disagreement, right? Because when you come in life, you're not always going to get your way. But what these educational systems are doing is they are raising children to believe that everyone else is wrong but you. No one else is wrong. You're wrong. Everyone needs to bend to you. Everyone needs to apologize to you. If you're offended, they need to change. That's the problem. So what happens when a child or a young adult comes across adversity, comes across something that they don't know how to handle? Well, the only way that they know how to deal with that, because our education system has failed our children, is to lash out with violence. Okay, that's what's creating this mental health problem. We are not dealing with mental health because we're coddling mental illness. We are telling the mentally ill, oh, it's okay to be mentally ill. We are telling the morbidly obese, it's okay to be morbidly obese. It's somehow sexy. No, it's not. Some people might find it that way, but it's not healthy for sure. There's nothing healthy about that. We are telling our children that it's okay to not be okay. And I say this as a guy who suffers from post-traumatic stress and anxiety disorder. I don't expect everybody to bend to my will. Ask my wife. You think when I'm having a bad day and I'm like taking things worse than it, you think my wife is like, oh yeah, everyone else is wrong. It's not you that's out of. No, it's me. When I'm having one of those moments in life where I think that life sucks, it's me. I'm the problem. I need to figure out what's going on and fix it. Our schools aren't doing that. So yeah, we definitely will support mental health resources as long as it doesn't come with red flag warnings. And of course, more funding for school security. No, we don't need funding for school security. We have school security. You just have to get rid of the impediments to school security. What is that impediment? It's the gun-free school zone. That's what it is. You want perfect school security? Allow teachers, allow principals, allow the cafeteria workers who can carry a gun to carry a gun in self-defense. That's it. We don't need to waste more taxpayer money on school security. We already waste enough taxpayer money on what's coming up? LGBTQ crap. All right, let's take out that money and put it towards school security.
Another proposal on the table is raising the legal age to buy any sort of firearm to the age of 21.
All right, now I'm going to show you something. Now, let me hang on. I'm going to turn this off because I'm going to go through my folder here. You can't raise the age to 21. People have a fundamental right to keep and bear arms at the age of 18. You have rights at the age of 18. All right. Now, I'm going to show you this case. All right. Now I can put this back up because I'm not going through my laptop here. This is Hertzfield v the ATF. All right. This is last year, a case. Keep in mind, though, it's only a Fourth Circuit case. That's fine. But there are a lot of footnotes in here that talk about this. But it is case law. Let me see if I can find this here. Right here. Oh, not there. Not there. Not there. Let me go to the next one. Come on. Ah, come on, dang it. Don't do this to me. I had it set up. All right. Every militia law near the time of the ratification required 18-year-olds to be a part of the militia and bring their own arms. The Second Amendment protects the right of 18-year-old adults to keep and bear arms. The people who are saying that we should not allow 18-year-olds to keep and bear arms or purchase guns in self-defense are the same people that think that if your child is 18, 19, 20 years old and they move out, right, they have no right, and they move into, so an 18, 19, or 20-year-old adult that lives by him or herself has no right to self-defense. If someone breaks into their home, by golly, they should just die. That's one of the things that I'd said to Texas Public Radio the other day, because that's exactly what the left is telling you when they say that you should just not allow people to have these kinds of guns. What they're really saying is you should just die. That's the effect of it. Right here, those 18 and older would have been understood to be covered by the Second Amendment at the founding. So you can't, this is the thing, Cornyn. If you go out there and you say that you're going to capitulate and raise the age to buy a rifle to 18, I'm telling you right now, I will be the first to file a lawsuit. If you are 18 to 20 years old, come see me. Come see me if they decide they're going to raise the age limit, because we're going to sue. We're going to sue, and we're going to win, because you have a right to self-defense. You have a right to keep and bear arms. And if they're going to raise the age to 21 to have guns, then by golly, they need to raise the age to 21 to vote. They need to raise the age of 21 to join the military. I know that's not exactly a right, but you do have a right to form a militia. They need to raise the age to 21 of just about everything else that we do in life. Driving, every other right that we have. Abortions, you have no right to an abortion until you're 21. Well, you shouldn't have a right to an abortion anytime. But there is case law out there that if you are 18 years old, that you have a right to keep and bear arms. So this idea, and let me bring that up one more time just so you can see what that case was. Let me go back to the top here. There you go. It's Hirschfield v. ATF, or Bureau of Alcohol, Firearms, Tobacco, and Explosives. BAFTE, BAFTE. All right. So there's that. Let me get back to this.
Something then Republican Governor Rick Scott signed into law after the school shooting in Parkland, Florida. Political experts say partisan divisions have resulted in a stalemate over gun policy in Washington for years now. Here's the deal. Most legislation requires 60 votes to overcome a filibuster in the Senate. As a result, Senate Democrats, who only control 50 seats, would need at least 10 Republicans to go ahead and pass any kind of gun measure. So let's hope something happens on this Zoom call and we'll learn a bit more.
You hear that? You hear the media? Let's hope something happens. Let's hope for gun control. We've got the media now that's in on this. I'm telling you right now, WFAA, Open Carry Texas is going to fight any effort to ensure that we maintain what we have.
Here, I do want to ask.
Congress needs to pass universal background checks. That would not have helped. That would not have helped stop this, because the guy went through a background check. Let me ask you this. Why is no one asking how the hell an 18-year-old has a fairly new F-250 Ford truck, is able to buy 2 Daniel Defense AR-15s, which are quite expensive AR-15s, as well as, I think what the media is reporting is 1,600 rounds of ammunition, which probably costs as much as an F-250 these days. How is an 18-year-old without a job able to afford all of that? Tell me that. Ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. I don't even know what an assault weapon is.
That President Biden stands by this tweet and this message saying that Congress needs to pass universal background checks, ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, saying it's time to turn this pain into action once and for all. I'll send it to you, Mark.
And of course, the pain is being caused by the left with their gun-free zones and all that. Now you've got Beto O'Rourke. All right, look at this LA progressive. Okay, yeah, we're gonna expect stupidity from them. But Beto O'Rourke now is challenging, saying that, he wants to challenge Governor Abbott on gun control. I sure hope Governor Abbott takes him up on that. Unfortunately, I don't know how that would turn out, because you've got 2 complete morons going against each other and debating each other on a topic that neither of them quite understand. But the Beto is now calling for more gun control. These people are trying to blame the NRA, who years ago had identified Houston as where they're going to do the convention this year. And all of a sudden, they create this manufactured hype over guns based on a school shooting to justify thinking that, oh, the NRA shouldn't have been here. All right, now we've also got people like Mayor Parker of Fort Worth is out there. In case you haven't seen this, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in Fort Worth, this woman needs to go and she needs to be voted out of office. All right, she needs to be voted out of office. She's over here pushing for this. She's pushing for more gun control as well. You've got mayors, you've got candidates for governor, you've got the moron out there in Uvalde, the state senator Roland Gutierrez, who is also calling for this kind of stuff. Now, where does this all lead? Where does this all lead? I'm going to tell you where this leads. It leads right here. Canada now has decided that not only is it going to ban, the types of rifles that everyone wants to ban, but it's putting a freeze on the importing, buying, and selling of handguns. They will not stop, folks. Canada is actually getting ready to become a full-fledged communist nation right on our doorstep. Now, according to Justin Trudeau, the people who currently own handguns, they're not going to be affected. But you know what? They're not going to add any more handguns into the country. They're not going to allow anyone to sell them, to buy them. So essentially, if you have a handgun now, you're good, okay, until they decide, oh, wait a minute, now that we've stopped making more handguns for civilians, now we've got to take handguns out of the people who have them because, obviously our gun control thing didn't work. We're not allowed to, we're not allowing people to buy or sell or transfer firearms, but we still have this problem of mean people who are shooting others. So now we've got to go after the legal gun owners and take their guns away because obviously it's the law-abiding citizens. That's where this goes. You can see it right north of us in Canada that they're already doing that. They're now going after handguns. They've already gone after rifles up there. They've already gone after a lot of this stuff. And now they're going to go after the handguns. So they've already expanded background checks. Well, heck, I thought that was supposed to fix the problem. If expanding background checks was the issue, why is Canada still having this kind of problem then? Well, no, because now they got to do the rifles. Then after they do the rifles, then they've got to go and they've got to do the handguns. And after they do the handguns, then they're going to do like the UK and go after the knives, right? That's just the way that this works. So we've got to oppose that in all ways. I wanted to just come on here and make this very clear, okay? And I'm going to make this very clear again. I'm going to close up this video because I am in the middle of studying for the bar and I'm working on contracts and sales right now. And it's a topic that I absolutely hate. And because it's a topic that I absolutely hate, I took a break to make this video. So I want to make clear one more time. We at Open Carry Texas will not stand for a single, I don't care how small, I don't care how large, additional restriction on our right to keep and bear arms. We will not stand for it. We will fight every single effort. And I'll tell you why. This has nothing to do with trying to find a solution. Okay, yeah, we want to find a solution, but the solution is not in telling me what I can own or can't own, because I'm no threat to anybody except the guy that breaks into my house in the middle of the night. What we will support is ending gun-free zones, and this is what we'll fight for. Now, this is what we're going to fight for next year. This is our solution. Right now, our solution to this, other than mental health issues and getting rid of all of the wokeness in our schools so that our kids can learn how to actually serve as human beings and handle adversity, is we are going to work on a law that I'm going to write mandating that school districts cannot say no to allowing their staff and their educators that want to, not forcing anybody, that want to keep and bear arms in defense of themselves and their students. They cannot ban that, okay? The Guardian program is mandatory. Every single school district in Texas will allow the Guardian program in their district and will allow their educators and those that want to protect their classrooms. It took police an hour to do anything about that shooter. There were teachers in that school, I guarantee you, that own guns and that could have done something. They hunt, they target practice. This idea that educators are only educators and they have no other life outside the school, they've never touched a gun before, they've never served in the military, they've never served in law enforcement, they've never gone to a shooting competition, they've never gone to the range, is absolute, I'll say it, bullshit. Teachers are human beings just like everybody else. Teachers are Texans just like every other Texan. They shoot, they hunt, they sport, they do target practice, they buy guns, they shoot guns, they modify guns. They know how to use guns just as much as anybody else. And they're probably better trained than the cowards of Uvalde Police Department. So that's what we're going to fight for next year. We're going to fight to mandate this program. We're going to fight to get rid of gun-free school zones at the national level. I don't know what that just was. Something happened to my broadcast there. And that's going to be our priority. Our priority is going to be protect our kids. You do not protect our kids by making them victims. You do not protect our kids by making them defenseless. You protect our kids by hardening our schools like you hardened the Capitol. Why is it that these people who are calling for gun control have all the armed guards around them, but supposedly our precious resource doesn't? Why is it that the left will protect anything else they believe in with arms, but they won't protect our children? We'll spend $50 billion for civilians to fight Russians, but we won't spend $1 million to allow our teachers to keep and bear arms in defense of our own children. There's a problem with that. Our priorities are wrong. We don't need increased spending in school security. We need to get government out of the way to allow people to protect our kids, period. And I don't care what that has to look like. If a bunch of dads and moms, Terry, I see you out there, moms and dads want to get together and create a program where the school allows them to serve as security or at least as an armed presence at schools, they should be allowed to do that. It shouldn't be necessary. You are absolutely right. We should not have to have guns in schools. But unfortunately, the left has created such a bizarre, and the far right have created such bizarre psychos that have no respect for life. That's mostly the left. That have no respect for life, that they're willing to do this, that they're willing to kill these children, get these children killed. They don't want to protect them. Open Carry Texas isn't going away. We haven't gone away. We've been on a little hiatus, and we need your help. So go to opencarrytexas.org. We could use your donations because we got to ramp everything right back up. We've been on a 3-year hiatus. Unfortunately, nothing got done while I was gone. But not nothing. Okay, so things got done. I don't want to say that nobody did anything, and I'm not blaming anybody for anything because everybody did what they could. Rick was really, really busy at the legislature last year. I know Terry's been busy at different shows and things. So I don't want to sound like we haven't done anything, but as far as that, the administrative stuff that needs to get done, nothing's gotten done because we haven't been able to, because unfortunately we are such a small nonprofit. I manage everything. And we've got to get all that stuff ramped back up. We haven't had a store in 3 years to be able to raise money. I think we've got I'm not going to say how much because the media will jump all over how much money we don't have. So please go to opencarrytexas.org. Please think about giving us a donation. We will, of course, on July 4th, we will be at the Belton Parade again, like we always are outside Belton Police Department. We will be there to try and raise some money on July 4th. Anything we can. And what we're going to do is we're going to structure from a 501c4 to a 501c3. I'm going to take over duties not only as the president for now, but I'm also going to take over duties as general counsel once I pass the bar in July. So we will have an in-house attorney, thankfully. And what I will tell you now is if you've got some ideas, go ahead and email them to me. I probably won't see them for a while, but go ahead and email them to me because we're going to need a board. And if you know somebody or someone is interested in serving on the new board for the 501c3 that has the time and the energy and the ability to help, then by all means, send those names to me and let me know. If it's more than we need, then we'll hold an election and we'll elect a board, and we're going to make this a more professional organization and one that is unstoppable. Okay, I've been doing a lot of interviews, so I know that we already make a difference, but we want to make this an unstoppable organization. I know El Paso was fighting, Chris. I know you guys were. Like I said, I don't want it to sound. Look, I'll just say it this way: at the state level where I am, we weren't doing much. Okay, we weren't. I know y'all in the trenches, y'all were doing stuff. Y'all were showing up at things. Y'all were protesting where you needed to protest, rallying where you needed to rally. But at the state level where the admin stuff takes place, the boring stuff, nothing was done. Nothing at all to further the organization as a whole. So I definitely appreciate all of the local groups who kept us moving, who kept us out there in the front and center, in the eyes, and I appreciate the patience as I made this 3-year detour to get a law degree so that I could pass the bar, become an attorney, and so we could fight both legislatively and judicially for gun rights. And that's what I plan to do, is be a pain in the ass to anyone who wants to stand in the way of our rights. I plan to be a legal pain in the ass. I'm not going to, no longer am I just a pain in the ass in the streets and in Austin, but I'm now going to be a pain in the ass in the courts, demanding respect for our rights and holding anyone accountable that violates them. Thank you so much for what you do in support of gun rights, in support of Open Carry Texas, and in support of me personally. I really appreciate that. You guys take care, stay safe, stay free. Let me make sure real quick. Well, I can't go through any of these. I've really got to get back to my study, and so I'm not going to go through and look for questions and stuff. Thank you so much. If you have my cell phone, you can text me. I deleted all my social media. So if you're contacting me on social media, I am not going to see it. If you have my cell phone number, you can text me. But I'm telling you right now, nothing is as important as me studying for the bar right now and passing the bar exam. Because if I don't pass the bar exam, I'm kind of worthless as an attorney. So that's what my focus is on right now. All right, guys, take care. Be safe and be free, and I'll see you next time. Remember, don't give up, don't give in, no capitulation, nothing.